I'm Adobe Certified Instructor Jeff Witchel, and today's InDesign Quick Tips tutorial is titled A Quick Look at Productivity Enhancements in InDesign CS6. There's a whole group of little features that have been added to CS6 that will make a huge difference in the speed of your workflow. If I go into the Help menu, it actually lists these enhancements as simply Productivity Enhancements. And we're going to cover a lot of these little enhancements that are going to make this huge difference in the way you work. I'm going to go back into InDesign. The first of these features is something called Split Layout View. If I have two different layouts within the same document that I want to compare, now I can click on this little button in the lower right-hand corner of my window, and both of the layouts will come up at the same time in the same window to compare them. Very cool feature. The next enhancement is called Recently Used Fonts. One of the things that's always been a problem with changing from one font to another is if you're using two fonts, it's almost a sure thing that they're at opposite ends of the alphabet. So if I would select something that actually has Warnock Pro applied, it used to be that I would have to scroll all the way up to the top of the menu to get to Arial. But now with recently used fonts, the fonts that I've used recently are listed right at the top of the menu. Really kind of cool. So if I want to change to Arial Bold, I can do that very quickly. And if I want to select this type and go to Warnock Pro Regular, you can see how this is going to save a whole bunch of time. The next feature that I want to talk about actually takes a feature that was in Illustrator and brings it into InDesign. Let me go to my selection tool. This is called Key to Alignment. And basically what it allows you to do is, instead of just being able to align to a selection in the Align panel in the pop-up menu, I can align to a selection, to something called the key object, which is new, or margins, page, or spread. Let me choose key object. And once I do that, I can click again on any one of these selected objects to make it the key object. And you can see how that object I just clicked on is now being highlighted. What key object does is it allows you to select an object that all other objects will be distributed from or aligned to. Let me show you. I'm going to go into the Distribute Spacing area and click on Distribute Horizontal Space to make all of these objects a 1/4 inch apart. But you'll notice that the key object remained in place and all other objects were distributed from that. So that is a big time saver. The next feature is called Export to Grayscale. I work on a lot of newspaper ads that have to be created in both color and in grayscale. Used to be I had to create two layouts. I would start with my color layout and then convert all of the images and the layout to black and white. Well, this took a lot of time. But if I can export to a Grayscale Acrobat, let me do that, File, Export, and choose Adobe PDF Print and hit Save. And in the dialog box that opens in the output area, instead of choosing my regular destination for color, I can choose instead a grayscale profile like dot gain 20%. Now, all I'm going to do is hit export, but I want to make sure that the PDF is going to open. So I went back into the general area to make sure that I had checked View PDF after exporting. Now I'm just going to hit export. Let me just fit my window here. And that is really cool. It saves a whole bunch of time because I don't have to create another layout that is in grayscale. Very cool. Let me get my Acrobat out of the way. One other feature that people have been asking for a very long time, the ability to backsave more than one version. If I go to File, Export, and choose InDesign Markup, IDML, and hit Save, it is actually going to backsave the document so I can open it as far back as InDesign CS4. But just a word of caution, make sure that you're not using any new features in your document, or they will not work when you reopen the backsave document in CS4. Well, that's about it for today. Make sure to stay tuned for more InDesign quick tips.